Hello and welcome to another Demis Hellen tutorial. This video is all about kind of dark wave synth bass stuff. More influenced by Carpenter Brut. Recently kind of rediscovered kind of really gritty bass lines, and this is kind of what I've come up with. So I'm just going to show you how I've gone about that, how I've got to that kind of sound using Hive, and then I'll probably show you how to use it in Massive in another video, just for those people that don't have Hive. So we're using two patches, so I'm just going to go in and choose Hive. Okay, and we're just going to drag these, let's put these to the top so we can see them, and this can be red. Okay, so let's copy the data from there, put it into there. Right, so we've got exactly the same if we mute those two. So first of all, user and initiate preset close. Right, so the first sound is all based around saw waves. So first of all, in mode, just turn it to legato. I'm just going to turn that down. And we're going to put the unison up to 16. Okay. And we're going to put the octave down at -1. And we're going to put the detune up, I'd say just before 12 o'clock. And this one then stays on normal. We're not putting it through the filter for now, but I am going to just shorten down the release just a little bit, just so it's a little bit more stabbier. And that is the first one really. There is a bit of distortion on the original, so let's just put some distortion on. To get it right up there. A little bit of phaser in there, and then a bit of comp just to bring the volume up a bit more. And then we'll do a little bit of shaping with the equalizer after that. But because we've set this up as a, if you just right click here, as a track instrument, sorry, when we duplicate it, we'll also duplicate Hive on the right hand side. There we are, there's a duplicate. Exactly the same sound, but in a different patch. So just to prove that, if we just put bass 2, there we are, bass 2 down there, and then let's just put bass 1, bass 1. Right, so we have the two separate presets. This is an exact copy of the first one, but on this one I'm going to go for 16 voices. We're going to keep it at the -1 octave. We're going to turn up the bit of vibrato so we've got a bit of wobble. And what I'm going to do with this one is we're going to put it through exactly the same effects chain. I'm going to turn the phaser off on this one and the compression for now. And we're going to put it through the equalizer. And we're going to turn up the mids. And then the highs. Okay, and we're going to set the pitch down to 12. We're also just do that for the other one as well. Pitch that down to 12. There we go. You're going to have to bear with me because it's about, what time are we on? Midnight. I'm absolutely shattered. I've been up since 6, so bear with me on that one. Right, so we've got the two sounds now. So we've got kind of a muffled but deeper one, and a top one that's a little bit brighter. I'm just going to remove some of the bass. And the difference between the first and the second, so bass 2, we're actually going to put a hard clip on. Right, and that is it for the synths. So if we now go into the mixer and look for bass 1 and 2, which is depicted here with red, let's solo them both and select them both, holding down Command or Shift because they're next to each other. And we're just going to right click anywhere on there, and we're going to scroll down to add group channel from the selected tracks. So let's just put bass GRP so it's different from this one. Bass GRP. Okay, I did that totally wrong. Let's just route it manually. So that goes to bass GRP and bass GRP. That usually works. I just obviously wasn't holding down the right key. Right, so we have bass GRP. Shouldn't hear anything, that's correct. So as you can see through the original bass channel, we've got a distortion unit, we have a compressor, we have EQ, and we have a final compressor. So let's just go through what has happened there. So first of all, we're just going to find FabFilter Saturn. There we are. I split it into 3 bands, roughly kind of equal, bit more on the bass side. Now, the middle one I put in as a power amp or a lead amp. It was one of the two. Let's just try it. It may have been a warm tape. Okay, and then on the top end, I just boost it a little bit to taste. And then the bass, just add a little bit in there. That is a very quick effort. I did a little bit more shaping in the first part. Then I went to Dynamics and FabFilter Pro C. You have to get, if you've got Pro C, you have to get it from the Dynamics folder, or you will not get the sidechain option up here. So let's choose it to external source. Let's just turn the volume down. And we have nothing happening, so let's just use the kick. And we're going to find sidechains, and we're going to bass GRP. Turn it on. It's already set to 0. So that's just for a bit of side chaining, and then I used Pro Q just to knock out the bass up to kind of 20 hertz there. Made it a bit softer on the curve, really. The kick is around 62 hertz, so I just made a nice narrow cut, about like that. Yeah, somewhere about there, just to really control the bass. It was tweaked. If we actually put that, if we actually take that away, we get a little bit nicer. And then there, and just a little bit of a smile in the middle. About there. And then finally, I just for the purpose of this, we'll use a preset. Have we got anything for bass? We have right at the top. Let's use punchy guitar bass there. Some nice control. Let's turn it up. So that is essentially how I made that sound. Obviously, people are going to do it different ways. As you can hear, this is probably a little bit more wet. I did use different presets on the distortion as well. It's all about the kind of the shaping of the sound, but it was a case of I've brought them down a little bit on the release, a bit less sustain, just to get that sharper feel. Whereas on this one, it's more free. So it depends on what you want. I do like the sound of that one. There's two different ways. Let's just listen to them both. So this is the original. And then the second one. I probably do prefer the second one because it's a little bit more open and it has a little bit more drive in it. So that is my idea for the kind of the Carpenter Brut like synth wave bass dark synth thing. It's really easy, but I think the more creativity comes from shaping the sound with distortion and kind of manipulating the harmonics of the sound really to really give it that gritty taste. So if you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up, and also links to Turbo Killer, which is Carpenter Brut's track. It's one of my favourites alongside Paradise Warfare, but Turbo Killer is one of the best ones for me, and that's where this idea has sprung from, which has also sprung the love for Tal's Uno LX synth, which is the emulation for the Juno 60 synth, which was used quite a lot in the 80s, bassline wise, just everything really. So yeah, thank you for watching, and I hope you enjoyed it. See you in the next video.